as a kid, it was pretty common to see bricks of cocaine on the table. Like, I thought that was normal. And I made a decision, even as a kid, I never went all in with that lifestyle. We were literally getting ready to start class, and I just got up, packed my bag, and walked out of the school. And I was like, yeah, that's my last time ever coming into a school ever again. I can continue to live in poverty, to live on EBT, to depend on the government, or I can have a radically different life. Growing up in the places that I grew up, I was never meant to be in the position that I'm in. And I'm super humbled. I credit a lot of my success because of the grind that I watched her go through. I mean, she cleaned houses my whole life, and she would do it for pennies. A disposition of mine when I started the company, it's like, man, if I can just show people that I'm worth it. And nowadays I'm like, no, man, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm going to serve you with the best that I possibly can.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to die with $50 million in the account. Yeah. Like, I want to die with $0, knowing that people benefited from the sacrifices in my relationship with God. People benefited and lives were impacted. We want to be essentially a hope dealer, and that's what we're committing our life to.
What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit Podcast. What we do on this podcast is bringing guests from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life to share their journey and everything along the way that led them to where they're at today. Real conversations, raw emotion, and the kind of human connection that can't be faked. We're here to make an impact, and that is what we do. So if that is for you, like, subscribe, all those wonderful things. And if that is not for you, I don't know what your problem is, but it's time to jump on board today. Thank you. But without further ado, I would love to introduce today's guest, Mr. Brandon Bess.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I wonder what it sounds like to her. I'm just getting all amped up by myself over here.
It's like she doesn't quite exist over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not used to this. We got like a crowd. I'm like, this is the time I butchered the entire thing. She's just giving me all this pressure. She's not even paying attention. She's just like, whatever. But well, it's good to have you too, Bailey. Bailey's here. Y'all don't see her. You probably won't hear her, but she's part of this. How I know Brandon? Well, we got connected on Instagram. You said you knew of me at some point in the past.
From the gym world, the bodybuilding world, but I was saying that it takes a lot of courage to want to do this and to step into this market and say, hey, let's talk about life and let's go deep. And so it's a real honor to have watched you from afar and watching some of the videos and seeing, the way that, you're making an impact in this space.
I really appreciate that, man. It's cool that you came to me with that, and you had been following for a while, because a lot of times you don't know that people are paying attention or whatever the case is, but then you've been following for a few years and you're like, appreciate the impact. That means a lot. So you often wonder, I guess it makes you think, how many times does stuff go unsaid? But that's part of what keeps you going, right? So thank you.
I get chills here when you say that, because it's like someone told me once, never degrade small beginnings.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that. But so with this, it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to be a part of this.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Well, it's beautiful to have you. Brandon owns Beacon Turf.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what else it is that you do.
Yeah.
But, your thing is you invest in the underdogs, which I can appreciate a lot,
Yeah.
I'm an underdog compared to like Joe Rogan, so
for now.
Yeah. For now, we're going to get there.
That's right.
So you're big on that. And I appreciate that big time, man, because, we've both seen how business can go with the big dogs. Yeah. And it can be discouraging for a lot of people.
Yeah, truly. Growing up in the places that I grew up, I was never meant to be in the position that I'm in. And I'm super humbled. Like, it's still to this day, I wake up and I cannot believe, I always tell our clients sometimes, I'm like, this never gets boring, and every day feels like the first day still. Yeah. Because growing up, I would have never have dreamed. I mean, I knew that I wanted to be different, but to really see it and to be a part of it, completely different perspective.
Making it happen.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to what led you there. But let's start with, outside of your business, or briefly touch on it. What does life look like for you today? Yeah. So we, the most important thing for us at our company is kingdom impact. And then just really like helping our brothers. There's so many men that are struggling out there that rarely ever hear, I'm proud of you.
that rarely ever hear, "Hey man, you're doing a phenomenal job. Keep going."
Yeah.
You know, I rarely hear that. And so, you know, we want to be essentially a hope dealer. And that's what we're committing our life to, is to look at the underdogs, look at men that need more, that just need a voice.
Oh my gosh. Somebody else just the other day used that term, hope dealer. It was the first time I heard it. And now it's like, it's happening again. There's a reason for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 2 phones. I'm the hope dealer. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
I love that. And so, and obviously you're big on family and stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
You know, do you got any kids?
Yeah. I've been married. So married 8 years.
Okay.
My son is 7. His name is Deacon with the D. And
Nice.
I'll explain why I stopped there and said that. But,
Okay.
Then my daughter, she's 4, and her name is Carson. So we're done with 2 kids. And yeah, it's, again, never would have dreamed of having kids or being married. But the best thing I've ever done in my entire life was to be a husband and to be a father.
Yeah, man. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
You know, you saying that made me reflect. I was just talking to my wife, and I was sharing some frustrations, and I was about to just state all these things I want.
Yeah.
You know, just like financial freedom and all, you know, and that's all great that you're working towards that. But I just was looking around. I was about to just unwind, and then I just looked at her, and I was like, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
It's just like, that was a weird shift, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just grateful.
Oh man, it's encouraging to hear you say that too, because when I started the company, it was for a few things, and then now I'm doing those few things. I had to remind myself of that very thing a couple of days ago, and I'm like, Brandon, why are you so stressed? You know, like, you're here.
Yeah.
Like, you're like literally here. You have a family and kids and a house with water, and like even just hearing me say that now, I mean, I get chills over my body, because we get so.
I got chills. You talking about?
Gosh, man, it's like we get so worked up over everything else. But I love that you said that, dude, because it's the small things that really do matter.
Yeah, and you got to be intentional about focusing on that. It's, you know, a common theme that I have with men, especially men, you know, in entrepreneurship, is that the hardest thing is being present. And like, you got to be so intentional, man. And because it's so easy to, like, there's always this hum in my mind. Nobody else hears it, but like 24/7 it's going on. Like, I'm thinking of what I got to do.
Yeah.
Nobody else knows about that. And so, and I'm sure you relate to that. And I think a lot of men, especially I've talked to lately, do as well. And it's really hard to be present. And because as a provider and a builder, especially when you're on your own, you're building, you got a vision, but you don't. Like, there's a point where you don't know what's ahead.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going. But at the same time, while you understand that, you're still always thinking ahead. So trying to be present when you're trying to think about the future of your family.
Yeah.
It's such a thing, man.
Oh, it's such a thing. And I heard this exact quote word for word. This guy said, being a visionary is tormenting.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I think I understand that, but let me kind of pull back the layers. And I'm like, wait a second, it really is, because you see something and you know it's going to happen, but then your current position doesn't quite look like it. But then you have to go through the steps and the motions and the days and the tears and the failures, but you know, eventually, you don't know how, don't know when, but it will happen. And I think that's the hardest problem.
It is, man. And that's the thing, is like, you can't really explain that knowing to people. It's just when people from the outside are like, why?
Yeah.
You're just like, I know. And they're like, what the hell? Like, you know, it's almost this delusion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's all, you know, everybody that's ever made it or reached a certain level or whatever, they also had that.
There's another quote that I used to agree with that I no longer subscribe to, is fake it till you make it. Oh. You know, a lot of people from Hollywood all the way down, there's this motto, and again, man, I just getting chills in my body, because like it's something that's been really confronting me.
Yeah. The
last couple of months. That was like a disposition of mine when I started the company. It's like, man, if I can just show people that I'm worth it, if I can just show people that like I'm worth them like giving their time to. And nowadays I'm like, no, man, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm going to serve you with the best that I possibly can.
Yeah.
And I want to be raw and authentic and just a human along the process.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm done with the fake it till you make it mindset.
Authenticity is the key, bro.
It's the key, man.
Yeah. And then people What I've learned is with opportunities that open, people just really love transparency and honesty.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that a lot in business. But now I think there's such a need for that because, it's an artificial world we're living in. And it's getting more and more that way. So those things like transparency and authenticity and being straight up, they shine.
Yeah.
And it's just going to shine brighter and brighter.
Yeah.
So that stuff is going to get more focus. The fake it till you make it crowd is eventually going to be like, no one's going to know who that is.
Literally.
Because it's just going to get buried in the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, dude, we're already diving into some crazy stuff. I'm fired the hell up. I'm ready to just kick this door. Anyways, Brandon, let's take it back, man. Let's take it back to your beginnings. Where do you hail from? Touch on childhood and stuff like that. Things that influenced, who you became today. Anything that really impacted you. Just let's briefly touch on that and like what led you to now. And we'll go from there.
This is the first time publicly any of this will ever be shared. And so because of the fake it till you make it, when I stepped into the marketplace, there's a certain image, there's a certain feel that I thought you had to have in order to make it. But yeah, I mean, my upbringing is, I'm honestly shocked and still surprised that I made it out of the places that I grew up in. My mom, single mom with 3 kids. She had my brother, I believe, at 15. Then my sister following, and I'm the youngest. And if you lived in Murfreesboro, then you probably know the streets I'm about to name: January Street, February Street, Rolling Acres. 20 years ago, you would have never driven by those places.
Really?
Never.
Rough part.
The worst part.
Yeah.
The worst places you could have lived in Murfreesboro. And the city of Murfreesboro has done a phenomenal job at changing that. Now you can drive through and it's just another day. But back then it was not just another day. Gang violence, number one. It's
really.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah. I look back at those days and quite frankly, I don't remember most of the days because you're stuck in survival of like, hey, I got to make it through today. And so, there's a lot of stuff that we could go into with that. And I'm willing to share as much.
Yeah, man, feel free to share it. Yeah. Because it allows people to really get to know you, and connect with you. Because to me, it's like, why I may not relate to that, like with my upbringing, there's going to be things that I can connect with. Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there that are, pursuing their dreams and, look at you probably, and they can find inspiration in you and your journey because they could maybe be in a similar place too.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go into all of it, but just touch on whatever, man. This is for you today, bro.
Well, I dropped out of high school. I literally do not remember. It was either my freshman year or my sophomore year. I literally dropped out to pursue bodybuilding.
Okay.
And I was off to a great start. But, prior to that, I always felt different in school. And I think it primarily was because of my upbringing. And when I got to middle school, that's when I was really confronted with, wow, my life is really different. Because prior to that, I thought everybody's life looked like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was common to see. How honest can I be on this?
Oh, dude. All out, man. Trust me. Like we go into anything here.
It was, as a kid, it was pretty common to see bricks of cocaine on the table. Like I thought that was normal. I thought every family was moving like that.
Oh.
And then when I got to middle school, that's when I was like, whoa, all right. There's like families, mom's picking up kids from school. There's like, y'all eat dinner together. My
like,
mom,
wait, y'all don't have cocaine at your house?
Yeah, like what? That's weird.
Yeah.
But my mom, single mom, man, truly, she probably had it harder than us trying to provide to keep us safe and to make things better. Because she put every attempt at the table to make it better, but it's, her childhood was very similar too, and so it's just the generation kind of repeated itself. But my dad spent most of his life in prison.
Not to interrupt, but sometimes, thinking about your mother, sometimes in order to make things happen for your family, a lot of people, you do stuff that kind of go against your morals or values, and so it's just like you're willing to do whatever. Desperation will force your hand a lot of times just because like everything can be so overbearing. You're like, I got to make a move.
Got to make a move.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what that looks like, but I got to do it.
Got to do it. So I appreciate her and my brother and my sister. We definitely had it hard, but there's definitely folks that had it harder than us. But growing up in those places, man, like those places don't produce CEOs. Those places don't produce. I mean, they do because here I am, but very few make it out. And I made a decision even as a kid that I never went all in with that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Although that was the lifestyle, but there was something inside of me that had a louder voice.
That discernment.
That discernment, man, like at 5, 6, 7, 8, I literally felt different, but I didn't have context. I didn't have the experience, or I didn't have a voice to be able to say, hey, okay, I can like actually use this discernment or use leadership to change my life. But
it kept you from derailing, all in. So so it kept you on like that line.
Yeah. It really did, truly.
Then you said your dad was, in prison most of your life.
Yeah, prison most of my life. I mean, my grandfather, he's a convicted murderer. He was still in prison to this day. Never met him, but he lived in Murfreesboro, and you know my last name, and then you guarantee you know my family.
Yeah.
There's no mistake about it. I mean, if you hear the last name Bess and on this podcast, you'll know my family. But
yeah, they're like troublemakers.
Yeah, I really believe that some of them missed their calling.
Yeah.
Like I think
100%.
that they did some bad things, but I really think if they had what I now provide to my kids, the stability, the safe place, the place to build, the place to create, I really believe that most of my family could have been in politics, could have been in kind of those places where they just chose a different path.
Yeah, but it takes one person to really break those chains, because my mom went through, her childhood, and before that, it was rough. Yeah. I mean, it was like, I think she's a saint just for like the things she faced, and then the love she gave me, and the life she gave her. My dad gave my sister and I. Yeah. My parents are amazing, but it's just like, she's oftentimes hard on herself about like, family stuff. And I'm like, Mom, like you broke that chain.
Yeah.
Like, look at now, like look at how your kids are performing in their lives. We both got families. It's a beautiful thing. And then now the future of us changes, so you got to be proud of that. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. And so, yeah, look at you.
I would say for a long time, there was a lot of shame that I gave myself because of my past, because all my other friends all come from stability, all come from strong households. I'm sure we have problems. Everybody has problems, but from the outside, like I was the outsider my whole life. And nowadays I'm actually like thankful for that. But I remember as a kid, I wasn't allowed to hang out with some of the kids because of my last name. And I'm like, guys, I didn't do this. Like that wasn't me, but like that was a reality as a kid. Like people could not hang out with me because of my last name. But
I feel kind of sketchy hanging out with you here. I'm like,
I know.
I got this best guy.
I know. We got a police out there.
You guys
Security.
Yeah, I know, right? What's funny is there was a cop at my door the other day. I have no idea why he rang the doorbell.
Yeah.
And I couldn't talk to him through the thing. Maybe he knew I was about to record with you. He was like, hey, sir, we have to take you in for some questions.
That's funny.
But anyways, what do you think watching your mom raise you guys and go through that, what do you think that taught you about life?
Oh my gosh, man. I credit a lot of my success because of the grind that I watched her go through. I mean, she cleaned houses my whole life, and she would do it for pennies. And honestly, a lot of those wealthy people took advantage of her for cleaning a whole multi-million-dollar home for $80. Like, I would never do that.
Oh my God.
But she did it to survive. And so I think, seeing just that innate hustle that I have to do this.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of, well, I got savings. Like, that's what it really taught me, is that just the drive and the hunger. And growing up, it was hard. I did not see that as a kid. I saw all the things I didn't have, all the opportunities that I wasn't a part of. I never played sports, didn't have money for any of that. Bodybuilding was my thing because I could escape and just kind of focus on me. It's up to me.
Yeah. Was there like a deeper level of responsibility as a kid, for you? Did that teach you like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My brother, he's the oldest. I'm 27. My brother's 31 or 32. Mm-hmm. And we all kind of did our own thing. I mean, it was normal for me at 5, 6, 7 years old, wandering the streets at 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was never that she just like said, hey, go have fun. That's just the way that it was. Yeah. And so on January Street, February Street, I was the only little white boy running around at 1 o'clock in the morning. But, I was quote unquote safe. I mean, I'm still here. But
you are.
I'm still here.
You made it.
I made it.
They're like, oh, he's here with us.
Yeah, he's here with us. Yeah.
Are you close to your family now?
Yes and no. Yeah. There's some hiccups we've had along the way. And a lot of what people call it nowadays, childhood trauma, and working through some of those things. But so we're working through some stuff.
I've got some killer resources. If you're,
well,
I'll point you some directions.
Please do.
Yeah, dude, I got some things that have been life changing for me and a lot of people. So
I'm an advocate for counsel, and I'm an advocate for men, like going deep and asking those real questions of like, hey, I kind of suck. I need to get better.
Now moving forward, you said, you're 16 years old. You're in high school at this point. Found bodybuilding. How was high school?
Well, I didn't make it much through high school.
Okay.
But I hated it. I wanted more. I guess because of my childhood, I was so independent growing up that the thought of me sitting down with a teacher telling me what to do this, do that, like it wasn't even like I hated it. It was so foreign. It was so, I guess middle school, I slept almost every two of my classes, but high school was high school. I remember my last day I walked out. I think I was in.
Yeah, walk me through that moment.
Is it geometry that is in sophomore year or?
Oh God,
it's one of those. I don't remember. I do not remember, but I do remember I was in a math class.
Yeah, and
she was getting ready to do the lesson. I was looking around at everybody, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with this place." And we were literally getting ready to start class, and I just got up, packed my bag, and walked out of the school. And I was like, "Yeah, that's my last time ever coming into a school ever again." And it was. Yeah, it was.
And what was the aftermath of that?
I attempted to do online school. I actually did really good for like 5 months. I was like disciplined, enjoy doing it. And then I was like, yeah, this isn't it. And then went straight into bodybuilding, picked up some jobs.
Yeah.
My first job was installing granite countertops. Back then I was jacked. That job was fun.
Yeah.
I was lifting stuff that I would never attempt to lift nowadays.
Yeah, you're just like looking at your pump the whole time.
Oh my God.
I feel good doing this.
Yeah, I was getting paid to work out.
Yeah. What did your people around you say when you dropped out?
I think they were jealous, but there was definitely nothing to be jealous of. I'm dropping out of high school, not an advocate for, but I think they were jealous. I had a few good friends that I still talk to this day and do life with. I think that I kept close with some of them, but they kind of knew my childhood and they knew Brandon, that Brandon was going to do what he wanted to do, how he wanted to do it. And so, that was kind of it.
Some extremely successful guys I know were high school dropouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, True Friends Moving Company.
Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah. Chris Hamrick, he has like a crane company, he worked in coal mines too. And, but like there's something to be said about just drive and work ethic.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you that you don't need to do what everybody else does to succeed, right? So you just paved your own path.
Yeah, it's true.
What got you into bodybuilding? And then like what eventually got you out?
Oh, two very good questions. So growing up, I'd never had a father figure, but I had a friend in middle school who, if you watch this, Paul, shout out to you, but he was kind of like the dad of all of us. There was always like 50 of us that would go to this guy's house, and he just would manage us, we were such bad kids, but if we cussed back then, push-ups, we had to do legit push-ups. If you wanted to go to his house, there were certain rules and standards. And so honestly, a lot of my hustle and drive came from that experience with Paul, but he was big into bodybuilding.
He's like a mentor.
Yeah, man, he was tough. Cool. There was days where he and I would literally fist fight.
Yeah. And
he'd whoop my ass. Like literally. I remember one time we were in the Tahoe, like 7 of us in the Tahoe, and I was running my mouth to him, being silly. He said, "Well, get out." And I was like, "Oh gosh, okay." And he's like jacked.
Yeah.
I said, "All right, let's get out." And I got out, and he went straight to it. And when you get hit in the face, 2 things happen: you go in or you go out.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no other option. And so we fought for like 30 seconds. It felt like 50 minutes, but anyway, he was a phenomenal guy to have in my life, but he was the one that exposed me to bodybuilding. No one else took it serious. It's like 50 of us, but it was just he and I. And then I was like, man, I really like this. There was like a strong return on investment. There was a strong ROE, was return on energy. Yeah. Like it was good. And then I just fell in love with it. And then we worked out of his little shed, and then we started going to the gym, and then started at Gold's, then ended up at Olympus.
Yeah.
And that's when things got fun. That's when things got weird. That's when things got serious. And I think I worked the third shift at Olympus for a little while.
Oh, you worked there? Okay.
Yeah, it was really good. I got to
Did we meet before?
Oh, I'm sure.
Gosh,
we had to have. Yeah, a lot of that's a blur.
Yeah,
a lot of those years are I can just see moments of them, but some of the best days of my life. But then here recently, man, I think because I dropped out of high school to do bodybuilding, I committed my whole life to it. That there's just been this battle where now I kind of like hate the gym. And I'm trying to find other ways to make that happen, you know, but I still have yet to do it.
Like, I guess you just get tired of it?
You know, I think that, you know, my life right now is it's so busy. And like my word for this year, I try to like really pray through what word or what sentence kind of grounds me for the year. And this year it's just simply not so busy. And it's literally, I was in my secret place, just like trying to go through some deep breaths and just breathing work. And that was like the consistent thing that just kept surfacing to the top was not so busy. We all can get so busy. I mean, I could stack my calendar in 30 minutes. Yeah. It's just stuff. Yeah. You feel like you're productive, but then, you know, there's no ROE, which is a huge thing. I learned that. I flew to watercolor a couple weeks ago, and the guy was talking about ROE, and I was like, what is that? I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I've never heard that either.
You always hear ROI, return on investment, like, yeah, duh. But ROE, I was like, whoa, like return on energy.
Really cool.
Yeah, and it kind of shaped my perspective on going into things this year. Is like, whatever you say yes to, you're saying no to something else.
Oof.
And so I think that's kind of what maybe the gym has kind of felt with me, is if I'm going to the gym, that I'm saying no to, I work 100 hours a week. Yeah. So if I go to the gym, I feel like, well, my daughter needs me, my wife needs me, my son needs me. So still working through. I mean, I'm an advocate for health and fitness, and I think we all need to be, you know, doing it. But
well, it's a common thing. You know, I was listening to this guy, because you get these guys on social media that are like, there's no reason you should train. And they're all just like veins are popping.
Yeah.
And it's like,
who's going to carry the boats?
Yeah. And they're like in their supercar. They're like, you bitch, go work out. And you're just like, listen, one, you know, what does their life look like? Do they got family? Like their dynamic is probably totally different. But, you know, it's a common thing. I don't knock on guys for maybe they're out of shape, right? And I'm not going to look at somebody and be like, no, they're a piece of crap, because oftentimes they're prioritizing everyone else and everything outside of them. So they're like, they put themselves and their health on the back burner by putting everybody else ahead, which is very noble. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like that catches up, right?
Oh, it does.
So it's learning how to like draw a relationship with that to where it feels like that still benefits the others in your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, that part right there where you're saying you invest into everybody else, and then and that's exactly what happened. Like 2025 was arguably the best but worst year of my life. I just maxed out my body way too much. Yeah. I mean, way too much. And I've never been an advocate for anxiety medicine. Truly. I'm not like, hey, go get on it. But my body physically lost the ability. Let me pause. I went through like 7 months of blood work because something wasn't right. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, what is this? I thought it was high blood pressure. I thought it was, you know, low blood pressure. I mean, I spent thousands of dollars, 4 different doctors trying to understand. Like, I'd wake up, go to work, and then I'd almost pass out every single day. Yeah. I'm like, dude, something's wrong here. Like, this isn't normal. I couldn't shake it. You know, I was trying to do better and eat better and think better, but could not shake it. And then we got to the end of the road, and the doctor was just like, she was sad. She was like, man, like, something's wrong with you. And I want to help you, but I just don't know what it is. And she's like, maybe it's like anxiety. And I was like, no, not me.
I don't get that stuff.
Yeah, I don't get that stuff. That's for weak people.
Yeah.
And that was the mindset. And then I left. I wasn't like, yeah, that's it. I left, and I was thinking about it. I was like, wait a second, man. Like, yeah, maybe. And then I got on medicine, and then like it helped a lot. Helped a lot, man. Yeah. Truly.
Somebody has anxiety or something going on, my first thing isn't like, oh, go get on medication.
No.
But I also see where it can help people and benefit them. As at least for a transitional time.
Yes.
Until they do some work to eventually get off that.
Yes.
Right. And so that's kind of what you're getting at too, is like, it just makes sense and it's helping you.
Oh my gosh.
And now it seems like you're in a place of being proactive towards like doing the work.
Yeah.
To where you don't have to lean into that, to where you can like have a lot less anxiety. And I'm not saying like it won't show up here and there.
Right.
Because even for me, like, it's way better than it was.
Yeah.
But there are moments where I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It just hits you.
It hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had an episode a few nights ago. I was good, level-headed. And then it just, I had like the worst episode I've ever had in my entire life. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But then I, remembered like, hey, I'm okay. Because like when you're having a quote unquote panic attack, they've done studies where it literally feels the same as if you're being chased by like a freaking gorilla.
Yeah.
Like, the body goes through that process.
Yeah.
And it freaks itself out, dumps a bunch of adrenaline. And so now I'm able to, but I'm putting the work in, I'm not so busy, I'm not wearing let me say this clearly. I'm not wearing myself out to get rich anymore. Because money, when I started the company, I'll be honest, that was the motivator.
Yeah.
Because I needed money to continue to go.
Yeah.
But nowadays I'm like, I've had little, I've had a lot. I want to be right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. If I have too much,
cool.
Then, I've seen it destroy people.
Yes.
Then on the other side, if you have too little, then you do things in desperation that, you normally wouldn't do. And so
100%.
That's kind of this year is there's a certain number I want to hit, but it's not. When we started our goal last year, had a massive, what I call testosterone goal, like for revenue, scratch the whole thing, threw it away. Yeah. I'm like, no, no, if I hit this number and it allows everyone on our team to have a really good life and to have fun while doing it, that's the number.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. If more people would apply that mindset into businesses.
Yeah, man.
I think that's great. And for me, like I understand that grind of having like, at one point I had a lot of money and then it's just like, whoa, where did it all go?
Yeah.
Business, it costs you a lot. And then you're like fighting for this dream in survival mode and it's tough, man. Yeah. But you're doing what you need to do. It goes back to the moment I had my wife, like, hey, we got a roof, we got food, we live a good life, and we got a really beautiful marriage and our daughter and everything. It's like, I really don't need more than that.
Yeah.
But like, I'm working to acquire more than that. Why?
Yeah.
Because the freedom for my family.
Yeah.
Buying a house on some land and all that stuff. Like that's my priority. It's number one.
Number one.
And so, the money is just part of it. Like I need this year, like there's been a lot of, when I was in that building, it wasn't about like I realized when I was in that headquarters and all that shit was going on and it wasn't about growing my brand. Yeah. That time was to grow me.
Yeah.
And then this last year has been like just this huge transition and everything falling into alignment. And I realized that. And then coming in this year, it's like, okay, now I'm leaning into collaboration and partnerships and building with other people. And now doors are starting to open that are going to be more financially, promising and stuff of that nature, right? It's just these different shifts of the season, right? At the end of the day, you just keep going, you figure it out.
Yeah.
But so I really appreciate you saying that, man. Just finding that middle place. Like, you already live in abundance.
Yeah. There's a quote that I saw, I think in November of last year, and it captured me. I mean, it literally felt like everything just kind of zoomed in where I was like, whoa, I need to like pay attention to this. And I've considered, I just told you earlier off record that I wanted to get some sleeves. And I've been trying to like build towards, okay, what do I want that to kind of present itself as? But the quote goes like this: deadly serious, but playfully alive.
I dig that.
And so like when it comes to our company, when it comes to our people, when it comes to helping the underdogs, we're deadly serious about it.
Yeah.
We're aggressive. We want to win. Like if you are in the way and it's harming us, like we're going to run over you.
Yeah.
However, we're going to have a lot of fun in the process because the last 3 years, when I first started the company, so much fun.
Yeah.
And then I got too serious with it where the playfully alive part died.
Yeah.
And then I kind of died with it where I hated my company.
Oh my God.
I despised it. I was like, phone calls come in, don't want it. Meeting, don't want it. And then now I'm getting back to like, oh my gosh. Whew.
The presence.
Yeah.
The being present part, because when you're constantly thinking ahead and your goal is on that success that you can't even, like that's so far out of reach in your mind.
Yeah.
Like you just bypass all this great shit.
Yeah.
And then you lose yourself in just looking at that So everything that's going on is a win along the way. You're like, not good enough.
Yeah.
Not good enough. And that was a big thing for me, man. Like just learning how to really go back and appreciate, man, like all those wins along the way and look at success just completely differently.
Yeah.
You know, and just still keep working towards leveling up. Going to, you know, that time when you dropped out, you know, you're being mentored, you're going through all this stuff. What is the future of that? Like, so you're in this place. Did you feel like you just didn't have any direction? You know, I know you mentioned like sleeping on friends' couches and stuff like that. Like you were doing bodybuilding, but what was your plan? What was going on in your mind?
That's a really good question. And still, when I look back at that season, there's still some unanswered questions that I have, but I think that I started to really study rich people. You know, I guess back then, like I said, money kind of was the driving force, but I looked at where I came from and I'm like, okay, I have two choices. I can continue to live in poverty, to live on EBT, to depend on the government, or I can have a radically different life.
Yeah.
And so after that, I started to work for my brother's company, who at the time he just started as a project manager, and now he's climbed his way all the way to the top. Very proud of him.
Yeah.
Big inspiration to me. But I started working at his company as a laborer. I was a pipe layer.
Okay.
And I was working in Green Hills, and if you guys know me, y'all know I love Wendy's.
Okay.
It's probably my biggest problem here.
Yeah.
Is I used to always go get 4 junior cheeseburgers, ketchup and cheese on them. It's like a staple.
I love that, man.
When I'm like, hey, let's go to Wendy's, they're like, I know what he's getting. So I did that one day after high school, kind of was going through the process of, okay, I dropped out, now what? And worked at one of those company, probably 2 months in, I was in Green Hills, and we were working on a project, really easy, fun job. And I was going to Wendy's, and I saw this Lamborghini. And it wasn't the Lamborghini that got me. It was, how did he get it?
Yeah.
Like he did something to get this. And his name was Philip. And he was on the phone at the dry cleaners, and I was like running past him. I'm like, okay, I think it will take me about 6.5 minutes to get inside, order my burgers, and then come back. And my purpose of saying that was I was hoping that within that 6.5 minutes, he would still be there and off the phone. I kid you not, 6.5 minutes goes by. I'm literally running back to my car. And as I'm approaching him, he's getting off the phone. And I look at him, I'm like, hey, dude, I love your car, but I'm more interested in like how you got this. And he kind of looks at me, and I was like, oh man, I think he's, you know.
If you would have started recording that, you would be like huge on social media. It's like that one guy that's like goes around, he's like, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying he'd probably making a lot of money just doing that.
Honestly, truly.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah. And he looked at me kind of funny, and I was like, oh God, this guy's not gonna, he doesn't want to talk. And he said, you want to get in the car? And I was like, yeah. And so I got in the car. I have a picture of it. It took me a second to find it, but I will post that picture one day.
Yeah.
And I get in the car, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, dude, like, how'd you get it? And again, he's like kind of quiet. He's not like racing just to tell me. And he's like, he said, I want you to read a book. And I was like, okay. The first book I've ever read. It's called Think and Grow Rich.
Yep, I have that book.
Yep. Literally my first book I've ever read in my entire life. I'm sure I read in middle school, elementary school, but I never actually did it.
Yeah.
But I read that book, and he told me, he said, before you read this book, I want you to commit for 30 days and think about the life that you want and start doing the things that get you there. He said 30 days. He said, if you don't do it on the 28th day, restart. So for that 30 days, I started doing that. I started reading books, listening to podcasts, and just like invested. While all my other friends were getting out of high school, partying and drinking, I just went, this is kind of funny. I work in Nashville almost every single day.
Yeah.
I just went to my first bar ever, like a month ago.
Really?
Ever.
What'd you think?
Kind of fun, actually. It was kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. It was, we bar hopped a little bit, went to New Orleans, but my purpose in saying that is like, while they were all partying and drinking, I was hustling. I was watching videos on how do these people do it? Yeah. And so anyway, to answer your question, that guy really inspired me. It could have been anybody, but he just happened. It was him and his Lamborghini.
Yeah, that's like, it's one of those moments that are like placed there on purpose.
I believe so.
Yeah. I don't think there's no such thing as coincidence, man. And I firmly believe that. And I think, do you even remember the guy's name?
Philip.
And,
Yeah.
But have you talked to him since then?
No, he's actually, I think he's a New York Times best editor, not writer.
Really?
He edits. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just driving Lambos.
Driving Lambos.
But I think that's really cool because I think that's such a powerful moment. Like, I mean, he could have just been like, oh, I don't got time, but he gave you a ride in his vehicle. And that changed your entire life.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. What a powerful moment right there in your history.
It was proximity. It was like, okay, if this guy can do it, then maybe.
Yeah.
Then maybe I can too.
Yeah.
Now, I'll never own a Lamborghini. Like, maybe one day. Maybe. But like to your point, I want land. I want those things.
And I was thinking about this too, that before we take it forward, you're talking about the perspective of like take care of yourself and training. And I used to get in my head about it because I'm like, well, that takes away from my daughter. She's little, like,
yeah.
And I would feel bad about being like, I gotta work out, honey. But now she sees me, I'm like out there. I go take my shirt off. I'm in like my short shorts.
Yeah.
In the garage. So now what does she do? She comes out. She's got to take her shirt off.
Yeah.
And she's like, and she tries to do a burpee. She cannot do a burpee. But the fact of the matter is, like, she's not even 3 years old. She's trying to do burpees with her daddy.
She's seeing that.
And I'm like, there's so much value in that.
Yeah.
Like, that is a powerful thing. So
it is.
I don't know. I just thought of bringing that up because, I know you're trying to build a relationship back with it.
Yeah.
And it's just like those actions that your kids see deeply impact them and their outcome. And I want her to take care of herself and be ahead. So if she's already doing that, it's like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a win.
That's a win. Big win.
Shifting through this time in your life, you had this conversation with this guy. How old are you at this time?
I was 16.
You're 16.
Yeah.
You had mentioned there was a big faith journey at some point.
Yeah.
Did life kind of look similar? Like where you were at then, did it look the same for a while and then you had this faith moment or what?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I mean, I was definitely like on the pursuit of like financial freedom and bettering myself. But, I didn't grow up in church. I didn't know about any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I was working with my brother's company from 16. And then I had a radical moment in 2017. Oh, excuse me. No. 2016. I got married in 2017. Crazy. Hold on. No, I was not 16. And I was... I'm telling you, man, most of my stuff is a blur.
Yeah.
Truly a lot of it, man. Okay. Like I've compartmentalized a lot of my life from my youth. But I know for a fact in 2016 is when I came to know who Jesus was, Yeshua. Yeah. Never knew who that was, didn't care to know who he was. But on that day, I would have ended up doing something that would have changed my life or it'd have been some really big trouble for me had I pursued what I was going to pursue. Mm. And I had some people that were 5 minutes away from picking me up. So speaking of Bailey, so part of my sleeping on couches, I ended up on, so her sister is how I know Bailey. Her sister is, how old is it, Allie? 26. But so anyway, I was good friends with her sister. She was a little girl. And we would just all kind of protect Bailey. Like now she has a boyfriend. And I'm like, oh, I don't like this at all.
Clobbering time.
Yeah. I'm like, although I do like her boyfriend, but it's, but I grew up on her couch and not grew up, but I lived with them for a long time. And then her mom did pass away for overdose, but she was an incredible woman. And when we stopped recording, she actually was one of the first people that ever gave me a cross. And I kept that thing, dude, for a long time. And then so anyway, her mom and her family has been a tremendous help into my life.
I don't know, Bailey.
So Bailey, she's one of the most realist. Does that make sense? Most realist? No, it doesn't make sense. But
it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Grammar.
Grammar. Who needs it?
I get what you get.
Made up words anyway. Yeah. But Bailey is the most authentic, real person, truly. She's real, man.
Hell yeah, Bailey. Guys, y'all just what Bailey's. She's on her way here.
She's on her way here.
She will be in an episode soon.
That's right.
Oh man, I love it. Well, thanks Bailey for, obviously, I don't know, just thanks for being here. We're glad to have you. Yeah. Brandon, back to where you were getting at. So we were talking about your faith journey.
Yeah.
What kind of led to that?
Yeah. So, in 2016, we were, that day, it was June 22nd. I remember the exact time. It was 3:23 p.m. I had some people 5 minutes away to pick me up. And in my heart and my mind, I didn't want to go, but it felt like I had to. Like it was kind of like an all-in moment or not. So I committed to it, like, hey, I'm going to do this. But I never grew up in church, never knew any of that. I wasn't exposed to any of it.
This is a big deal for you to go.
It's a big deal to go, yeah. What I was going to do that day would have probably ended my life or put me in prison for my life. Yeah. So they were 5 minutes away, and I go in my grandmother's bathroom, and I look in the mirror. I'm just looking at myself, and I'm like, man, really? This is my life? And then I just start crying uncontrollably, like the most I've ever cried in my life. Even like that was the most I've cried ever in my life.
Yeah.
And my body got weak. I literally fell to the ground, and the only thing that was on my tongue was these words here. I said, God, if you're real, and if you love me, and if you are who you say you are, I'll give you my entire life. And it felt like something inside of me changed. Now, my whole life did not change, but my direction did that day. I did not go. I stayed on that floor for like 5 hours and just wept and cried. My soul just released so much. And when I got up, man, I felt different. I felt taller. I felt stronger.
Nice.
I felt there was more clarity. And then, yeah, that was the kind of like the most pivotal moment of my entire life.
It's catalyst.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, man.
Yeah.
You know, you hear about people having those kind of moments. You know, a friend of mine called it, this is mile 17, right? And because he was running this huge ultra run, like 100-mile race, maybe more than that. And
that's crazy.
I think like 17 miles in, he tore something in his leg, and he just kept going. He actually got like one of the best times, you know, but he talks about it. It's like, you know, just this point in your life where it's just, you make a choice.
Yeah.
And the outcome of it is so much more powerful, right? And that outcome can go two different ways.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, your life may be a lot different had you made the choice that you originally were going to make.
Yeah.
And you know, you had God come to you and you submitted.
I did.
At the right time.
At the right time.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I still have very difficult moments with God and submitting and listening, and it's still, I'm still a work in progress. I mean, it's almost 10 years ago that I made that decision, and I still, people who say they figured it out and they have all the answers,
no.
I run away from them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no.
It should be, you should be working on it till the very end.
Yeah.
Like I say I'm 90 years old, I'm going to be like, dude, I'm still working on myself, still working on my relationship with God, all that stuff. Like, I think that's an eternal growth thing.
Yeah.
You know? So for you willing to say that, I mean, yeah, I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it should be testing sometimes. It should be difficult.
Yeah.
You should have questions, you know, there's going to be those moments, but that means you're growing in that relationship. If it's comfortable, then the work ain't being done, man.
Yeah. If folks are going to church just to feel good, they're missing it.
Yeah.
You know, you should leave church challenged. You know, you should leave church questioning, you know, a lot. And so that's kind of where I find myself now is it's just me and him.
Well, you're pulling masks off.
Yeah.
Other people, not everybody, but other people are putting masks on, you know? So you're just doing quite the opposite, and it just doesn't align.
Yeah, I was almost trained to wear that mask for a long time. That's what I meant earlier about a statement, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You know, I was getting, just drawn into that. And then, I woke up and I was like, no more.
Well, after that moment with God that you had, you know, moving forward, life obviously changed, right?
Yeah.
So
quickly.
Yeah. So dive into that a little bit.
So, that was June 22nd, 3:20 p.m., 2016. I ended up getting married in 2017. So at that point, I was 19. I got married at 19 years old.
Okay. How old are you now?
27.
Okay.
Yeah, 27. Yeah.
I feel old.
So I've known my wife since elementary school.
Oh, okay.
And we were kind of friends in elementary school, but she has always said since the moment she met me, she was in love with me. Like even in elementary school.
Dang.
I know, man. And I was stupid enough to not see it. Elementary school, middle school, high school. It took me, a long time to come around to it. But just got married in December 8th, 2017. Had my son in 2019.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's been a wild journey that there's been a lot of wins and a lot of losses.
Yeah. And you were growing a lot. I mean, that's a young time to get married.
Oh,
I mean, you met her when you were supposed to, you know?
Yeah.
Think about prior to that, what your life looked like compared to
Oh,
you
yeah.
said, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's the timing's everything.
Timing is.
So you got married, you're doing this. Yeah. And you're working towards this business, man. So you're getting close to like starting your business.
I got married December in 2017, and I didn't have like a career or a job yet. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm pretty good at sales. I think, I can talk to a wall.
Yeah.
I love people. So I'm like, I should probably get in sales. But
Yeah.
I knew for sure I did not want to sell cars. So I actually ended up going to the furniture industry, Ashley Furniture in Murfreesboro.
Okay.
And I walked in and I told the staff, I said, hey, I have a meeting with the sales manager. I did not have a meeting with the sales manager. I knew like I was not leaving without a job.
Yeah.
And so I walked in straight to the boss, Justin Stevens, man, he's one of the guys who made me.
Really?
Truly. Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out Justin.
Shout out Justin, man. But I walked in, I looked at him, I said, hey, I've never been in sales before. I'm coachable. I'm willing to learn. And I said, my last name is Bess. I was one letter away from being the best. And he said, you're hired.
Yes, dude.
Yeah. He hired me on the spot. I had a resume, not much of a resume, but a reference letter, the whole thing. Didn't even read it. He said, you're hired.
That is awesome.
And we butted heads a lot, dude. I mean, he challenged me more than I've ever been. I guess then, yeah, that was the most I've ever been challenged.
Yeah.
And I almost walked out on him several times, and I was like, nah, I got to commit to this. But that was my development training in that season of my life is literally what allowed me to go start Beacon.
Hell yeah. What kept him from getting rid of you for butting heads with him? I mean, because he could have.
Oh yeah.
He must have saw something.
He always said that he saw himself in me.
Yeah.
Young, I was kind of arrogant, but I didn't mean to be. It's just you're young, you think you know everything. And I didn't know anything, but I was willing to learn. I mean, if I wasn't up in the rotation for sales, I was literally studying, learning tonality, learning how to sell, learning how to read body language. While no one else was doing it, I was the one in the back like, yes, I'm going to learn all of this. And so he liked that. Like he could tell me something like, hey, say this. I go say it and it would work. And we just had a great relationship. Man. Yeah. I still talk to him almost every week. That's
really cool, man. And so you're married at the time. You're obviously growing together.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a lot changed within you at that moment, right? You said it was spiritual, but you also, I think you have this light of like, well, now I'm starting a family and all this stuff. So you started to get really serious. And with that, you became really bold.
Yeah.
Like walking in there with that kind of like interview.
Yeah.
Making yourself interview. Like, I mean, that's super bold and ballsy, but also badass. Like I would want to hire somebody like that. Like, I love this confidence.
Yeah, nowadays, if somebody did that to me, I'm like, yeah, you're hired.
Yeah. It's like, this is either going to crash and burn or he's going to be like one of the best people I've ever met.
Literally.
You know?
And I think that was the risk that he saw is like exactly what you said, crash or burn, or this is going to be something.
Yeah.
And we had our moments where I'm sure he questioned like, oh, this kid is annoying, blah, blah, blah. But like I ended up being a top writer. There was like, I think 20 of us. 20 sales reps, and all of them have been in the industry for 15, 20 years. And I was always like top 3.
Really?
Always top 3. Because I learned. I studied him, He told me to do something. Yes, sir. Get it done.
Is there good money in like furniture sales?
Oh my gosh. It's a hidden gem.
Really?
Oh man. I could walk in there today and make $200,000 a year. Guaranteed.
Nightstands and sofas and
dude.
That is insane.
Yeah. I mean, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And really not even just the training in that relationship with Justin, but the founders of that franchise are, man, I don't subscribe to a lot of people on the internet, a lot of the gurus, but this family that started that company, man,
really?
When I grow up, that's who I want to be.
Like the Ashley Furniture people.
Yep. Chad Spencer, Jim Spencer, that family, DSG group, like that to me is, man, they're just the most authentic, real.
Really?
Yeah. They turned it into $1 billion company.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And they maintain that. I mean, So, I mean, you're probably just getting nothing but Ashley furniture for everything
right.
you do now, right?
Shout out to AFI.
You're committed. Yeah. Ashley,
sponsors next episode.
Yeah. We need some new chairs. And that's really cool, though. I mean, first of all, I never would have thought, but that was also a huge turning point for you. How long were you there again?
A year and a half, 2 years on and off. Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What came after that? You decided to start your company?
Well, not quite. So I remember always looking out the front door of those buildings, and I'm like, man, there's a big world out there. I want a piece of it. Yeah. I didn't know what I wanted a piece of, but I wanted a piece of being able to create and innovate and think different and be different. And so I was like, okay, I've been in construction before. I now have some sales capabilities. What if I combined them?
Yeah.
So then I went into the construction sales type of world landscape. I was a superintendent for a little while and absolutely hated it. But it exposed me to that world. And then while I was a superintendent for like 8 months, I think I managed, 10 crews. It's a $20 million company. And I saw this video on YouTube and it said couch flipping. I was like, hold on a second, $10,000 a month couch flipping. And so I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. I've sold furniture in a retail environment. I think I can do what this guy's done.
Yeah.
And so I called my wife and I'm like, babe, all right, I'm about to throw you a curveball. Make sure you're sitting back on this one. And she said, okay. I said, I saw a video on YouTube where this guy said he can make $10,000 a month lifting couches. I'm going to go do that. And I could hear her on the phone. She's like, okay, I trust you. And literally a week later, I put my 2 weeks notice in, started the couch flipping, man. And I made, that first month, I quadrupled my money that I was making as a superintendent.
Damn.
With way less time. It was that honestly was the best season of my entire life was couch flipping. I did it for 11 months and made $130,000 a year.
So what exactly did you do with it?
It's on Facebook Marketplace. This is a great side hustle. If anybody's looking for something, this is it. I go on Facebook Marketplace. I'd find a sectional for $200, $300, $400, $500. I go pick it up, clean it, sanitize it, deodorize it, fix anything broken on it, and then I'd restage it and post it on Facebook Marketplace for $800, $900, $1,000. But the key to it was free delivery, because people that want a nice sectional that don't have $5,000 to go to Ashley, but they want a nice sectional, they're willing to pay $800, $1,000.
Yeah.
And so, man, I was selling 40, 50, 60 sectionals a month.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun, man.
Dude, that's insane.
Oh, it was so much fun.
What a grind. But like, you're I don't know, you're meeting all kinds of people.
Yeah.
You're bringing them something. It helps them.
It helps them
because
truly.
they're saving a bunch of money, and, a lot of families too. Like my wife loves like going to Goodwill and Facebook Marketplace and stuff. But you got a toddler, man, like they're going to spill chocolate milk on the damn sofa.
That's right.
And stuff like that. So it makes sense for a lot of people's lives if you got all this super expensive stuff. So that's like really cool. I never would have thought of that.
And nowadays, I only buy my furniture off Facebook Marketplace. It's kind of like a reminder of where I come from. Like, could I go to RH and buy a sectional? Probably.
Yeah.
Am I going to? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I just got a sectional delivered to my house a week ago from a couch flipper. Paid $1,000. Incredible sectional. Dude,
that's amazing. I mean, hell, this is from Goodwill, $10.
Yeah.
It sounds like an old creaky ship. She could probably hear it better, but I don't know. I feel like a captain,
Yeah.
That was, Facebook Marketplace, Goodwill, all this stuff, and it's like,
yeah.
But I love it.
I'm advocating for it.
I don't know who sat here before. I wonder about that sometimes.
Me too. I think about those things.
Maybe like I'm channeling their energy.
Speaking of Theo Vaughn, earlier you mentioned, we went out with my wife, Bailey, her boyfriend, and Allie, her sister's boyfriend, and we got an Uber, and the guy drives for Theo.
Oh, cool.
And he proved it. Like some people are like, oh, they kind of lie in the Uber world.
Vaughn's driver.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But he pulled the text out with the private security guard. And Allie's boyfriend was, we asked, I said, well, where did he sit at? And he's like, well, he sat right there. And it was kind of cool. It was one of those moments of like, I'm sitting where Theo sat. An hour before he picked us up.
Yeah. You're like looking at the seat, touching it. You're like, I got Theo on my hand.
Yeah. Got Theo on my head. Yeah.
So weird. He's sitting there like these creeps.
Yeah.
Hopefully you watch this, man. Come on.
Come on, Theo.
Yeah. That'd be a really cool opportunity, man. So you were just grinding and hustling and figuring out every which way to make it.
Yeah.
And you know what really stood out to me, because I think is very important to note, is your wife's support and belief.
Yeah.
And dude, I saw this video the other day, and it was just like, when she whispers, "I believe in you," and like the wife goes up to the husband and whispers in his ear.
Yeah.
And then it was like a compilation of like bald eagles and like pro wrestlers slamming each other and like bombs going off and like people just doing, Dragon Ball Z things. And it was like, there's so much truth to that, dude.
So much truth.
Like, it's funny, but at the same time, like, that's all a man needs.
It's trending for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a wife that believes in you with all the risk. Like, dude, there's something to be said about that. I talk about it all the time. Like, the right woman in your life will make you, they don't realize how much power they have over us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't, some guys may not agree to be like, oh, the toxic masculinity types, like, I don't need no woman, but
they're wrong.
dude, a good woman in your life would make everything so much better,
I would not be who I am, or Beacon wouldn't exist without her commitment to me. Yeah, it wouldn't. It's like sometimes she feels like she's on the outside, and she's more involved in the company now, but in the early days and the hustle of just the grind and the grit, like, she is just as much committed to this company as I am. And so all the long nights, are we going to make payroll? Yeah. Are we going to get through? Like, she was the voice of reason. And so, Beacon Turf would not exist without my wife's support.
And those discussions can be tough sometimes, but you get through it and you look back and you're like, damn, like, this is really cool. Yeah. You could probably relate to this based off of what you just said. I wrote a thing one time. I was like, she is Relentless Pursuit just as much as I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Your wife is the same thing to you.
Yeah.
And she's Beacon Turf too.
That's right.
She embodies that. So, because it wouldn't be what it is now, absent of her. And so I think that's really cool for you to recognize that too. And
it took me a while to recognize it. And, I have to admit, I wasn't that guy in the beginning, but now I am that guy. Like, when it comes to big decisions, even small decisions, I'm like, babe, what do you think about this? And she gives such clear wisdom. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was not thinking that. Yeah. Even Bailey, like, I'm an advocate for women in leadership. I'm an advocate for women in leadership and construction, because men get so laser focused, which is great. Like, we're built for that. But women, they're able to kind of see all the spinning plates. And they're like, yeah, that's danger. Yeah, that's going to hurt you. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because like, we're like, run through a wall. Let's get it done. We'll figure it out.
That shit wears you down.
Yeah. Nowadays, I'm like, if I can avoid running through a few walls, I'm
you get to the wall, you're like, this is pretty, maybe not this time.
Maybe not this time. Yeah.
Honey, you see anything around the corner?
Yeah.
And so here you are now, you built this business up. You did the hustle with the couches. Then I'd say after that was turning into Beacon.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you dive into Beacon, one of your kids came into your life at this point by now.
Yep.
Real quick, like, what was that experience like, and how did that change things too? Oof. And because I really want to know, like, how having a kid, what that did for you.
Oh my God.
What did that do for you as a man?
Whew. I mean, pregnancy it didn't feel real. I mean, like, I still consider myself a dad during the pregnancy, because most people like don't even count themselves a mother or a dad until the baby's out. And I'm like, no. Like, the moment that baby's in there, it's real.
Yeah.
And so, I would speak over my son, pray over him, and my wife would do it. She did an incredible job at it. But the first day he came out and I met him, I was like, whoa. Like, it all just kind of came. I mean, it was like the world stopped, zoomed in, and something in my body physically changed. Like, I think there was a lot of broken pieces that I couldn't simply fix without like childbirth of having my kid, or I guess my wife having the kid, but the first time I held him, it was the most euphoric, the most sensitive, most real moment I've ever had. And I cried for like an hour.
Same.
I kicked everybody out of the room and I was like, hey, this is time for her and I to be in here.
Yeah.
And man, I just held him and just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. And then I was like, whoa. Yeah, it was beautiful.
That is beautiful, man. It does something to you. You just can't put the words.
Yeah.
That's literally. I try to chalk it up and I'm like, nah, can't explain it.
Yeah.
I remember looking at my daughter, just holding her. I'm like, you are like, everything I have is yours, like all of me, because it's like, dude, this is mine and my wife's souls meshed together. Like, that's such a crazy thing.
I never wanted to be a girl dad. Never.
Really?
Never.
Oh, I wanted to be a girl. Dude, I'm so glad I got a little girl.
Me too, man. And that, like, back then when dads would say, oh, I'd have 10 girls, I'm like, bro, what?
I say that now.
Yeah. Now I'm like, yes, dude, I would have 20. Like, they're so, man, so sweet and just like so real. It's so funny and just, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. I love my son, but man, I love my little girl.
That's something about being a girl dad, like what it does to you emotionally and just like that, especially if you're, you know, a little bit more hard, like they soften you in the ways that you need to be.
Yes.
Right. And so I just think it's such a beautiful relationship, man.
Yeah.
And then when your little girl's like obsessed with you, they're like, daddy. And it's just like, they want to cuddle with you. It's like, whatever you need.
I saw this quote last night and it said, you know, this was a girl talking to girl dads. And she said, you know, having little girls, what you invest into them, she said, it's like writing words in Sharpie. And so like what you say and how you say it, it never erases. And so it's like basically saying like, hey, like your little girl needs to hear more than she's just pretty.
Well, it's like the imprinting thing, like you were talking about when your wife was pregnant, you know, you'd pray over her and all this stuff. I mean, ever since my daughter was born, every night, dude, and I lay with her most nights. She wants me to lay with her, and she's just with my wife more, you know. And so, but I repeat the same things. I'm like, you're so beautiful, you're so amazing. I'm so proud of you. You're so capable and strong. Don't fear anything. I remind her these things every freaking night, dude. And sometimes she just goes like, okay, you know. But I still say it. Yeah. And I'm always going to. But the fact, like the truth is, man, I know without a shadow of doubt, like down the road, that's going to be playing in her head. Oh, yeah. She's going to believe those things.
She's going to make life choices based on what you said about her.
Yeah, 100%. So there's so much importance to that, man. I said to my friend, he was going through a hard time, but the only thing that was keeping him around was his son, you know. And I was like, listen, I say this all the time to myself: be the man I want my daughter to marry.
That's right.
For you, be the man you want your son to become.
That's right.
And he's like, dude, yes.
Yeah, that's a mic drop moment, truly. Like there's so much to that. And something that I picked up probably a year ago that I tell my son and daughter every single day without fail. I look at my son and I say, Deacon, I love being your daddy. Yeah. My daughter, Carson, I love being your daddy.
Yeah.
And then naturally they would start to say, I love that you're my daddy.
Yeah.
You know? And that was my hope, was to like, because like hearing that is so real and it makes you feel so good. But now they, without fail, say it every single time.
Man.
Say, I love that you're my daddy.
That's amazing, bro. Oh, I love that. We could do a whole episode on fatherhood and marriage and stuff.
We should.
One of these days, yeah, let's definitely do that. But now shifting into Beacon. So you took a chance, man. You started your own thing.
Quite frankly, I did not want to. You know, I wanted more. I wanted to use my gifts and my abilities, like in the marketplace. And when I started it, it's a crazy story and how it started, man. I mean, wild story. My last sectional that I had for sale, and I needed this money. My last sectional for sale, and I had a, funny enough, an RH bedroom set that a doctor was getting rid of. And I think I was buying a couch from him, and he also said, hey, I got this, furniture ready if you want it. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, this is RH. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I don't want it. I took it. Yeah. And it set my storage for like 3 months. I just never posted it, never got around to it. And I was at this moment, this crossroad where I was like, okay, like I can scale this couch flipping, buy wholesale and sell, to the masses, or I could start Beacon. And so I was in between for a couple of months. And I saw this Facebook post of a guy in Nashville who helps families who are going to abort kids. He helps stand in the middle in the gap. And he's like, hey, what do you need today to prevent this from happening? Do you need rent paid? Do you need groceries? Like, what, you need a car? What do you need? And he's done a phenomenal job at stepping in to someone's worst moment that they feel like of having a child but not being able to provide for them. And so he had a Facebook post of a family that was literally going to abort their kid. And he stepped in and asked that question, what do you need? Well, I need a place to stay. I need food. I need this. I need this. And so he made a Facebook post saying, hey, guys, there's a need for a sectional and a bedroom set. Yeah. And I was like, man, I think I should do that. Yeah. And so I DM'd him and I said, hey, dude, I got exactly what you need. He sent me the address. I met the family. I met the father in an apartment complex in Nashville. And dude just got like shot like 2 months ago, was coming to know Jesus, but just didn't know where to start. I mean, he was deep in deep in it.
Yeah.
But he wanted better, and so I met him and I think I stayed for like 3 hours. A tornado was coming that night. So he and I like bunkered up in this little apartment in Nashville, and we're just like sharing story for story. And somewhere along the line, man, he kind of like prophesies, which that word I don't like that word truly.
Yeah.
But this is a guy who just got shot at, was about to kill his baby, and he's like prophesying over my life, and I'm like, whoa. So he started to prophesy about Beacon.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, dude, like you shouldn't know any of this stuff, but like you know a lot of it. Mm-mm. And so anyway, that was a crazy take.
Oh, so he brought up the name he
literally brought up the name.
Yeah.
Without me sharing a single word about it. Like there was thoughts in my brain about it being Beacon, and then throughout our conversation, I forgot exactly how I said it, man, but it stopped me in my tracks, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is real. Like this is rooted in something bigger than me. Mm. And so anyway, that was the defining moment that I said, okay, God, like if you want this to be real, I will do it.
Yeah.
And so like the next couple of days, I went and bought the LLC, made it happen, opened it up, and got on Thumbtack and started running crazy ads. I didn't have enough money. I started with $500. Mm. I started Beacon with $500. And it was literally, I gave $250 to the marketing budget, and I had $250 for like gas and like snacks. Yeah. But we were literally banking on, we had no savings. Like this was all in. Either we do it or we don't.
Yeah.
And so paid the $250. I had like 4 leads come in. Didn't close the first 2. I'm like, dang it. My trend didn't work. But the next one came in. Her name was Liz, and she lived in Spring Hill. And it was, I kid you not, she called me, told me kind of what it was. I'm like, oh, okay. Back then I had a radius, and I had like, I had these rules that I was going to follow of, well, if it's 30 miles out, I'm not going to go. Has to be above $2,000. So this was $500, and it was 30 miles away. And so I'm like, God, what, man? Like $500? I'm not going to make any money on this. Terrible mindset that I had, truly.
Yeah.
And so I battled for like 3 hours. The client's like, hey, when can you start? I'm willing to hire you. I'm like, I don't really want to go. So I'm praying. I'm like, God, like, all right, okay, I'll go. And what I felt is, if you trust me, I'll show up. That's all I kept hearing over and over and over again, is if you trust me, I'll show up. So I said, okay. So the next day I go to meet her. I go to Home Depot, pick up some bags of rock. The client wanted a 5x5 pea gravel for a dog. Easy install.
Yeah. But
it felt big to me because it was a small job, but it was our first client ever.
Yeah.
And so show up, meet her, get the job started. I'm micromanaging the guys. Like, hey, make sure you level that right.
Scratching your head.
Like, I'm like, I hope this goes well. Yeah. And she goes inside. She's like, okay, the guys are good. And I'm there all day. And then she comes running outside, like hyperventilating. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? I've been here all day.
It's the wrong turf.
Yeah, something's bad. What's happening with this? And she comes outside and she says, Brandon, I don't know what you believe, but I have a good thought on what I think you believe. She said, I've never done this before, and you're going to probably think I'm crazy. And I'm like silent, listening. She says, while I was in there, God would not leave me alone about your company. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. She said, Beacon will be a place that broken men can come to be set free, restored, and delivered. Mm. She said that Beacon will be a place that will go further than the eye can see. This is my first client, dog. So I'm like, I almost missed it. Yeah. I almost missed this. That was the stamp of approval of God saying, hey, I'm for you, not against you. Bro. If you stay with me, there's nothing in this world that can deviate you unless it's just you. Yes. Unless you do it. So, man, I've gone back to that moment thousands of times when I've wanted to give up, when the betrayals come, losses of money. That was the moment that stamped us forever.
This defining thing, it's so crazy because it seems so small. It's oftentimes too, like those, forces me to reflect those little things that you just maybe seem like an inconvenience or a waste of time. It's like, or maybe not enough.
Yeah.
That you make yourself go because you just, something in you is like, you got to.
Yeah.
That like can be such defining moments.
Yeah.
In your life and like the outcome of things. Right. And those, it's good that you do like often reflect on that, because no matter where you are in your business, like that is such a critical starting point.
Oh my gosh, man. It kind of goes back to never degrade small beginnings.
Yeah.
You know, we started with $500. Now it's a multi-million-dollar company. People want to franchise with us. I mean, we're on an incredible podcast with you. Next month, we're going to go on the Bradley podcast and share a vision of the company to really help the underdogs. Like this year, our family is committed to the Brandons that are out there in the world that want to do something bigger with their life. We want to be the mouthpiece for the artificial turf industry.
You're going to be a beacon.
Exactly right.
Like the beacons, baby.
I love that.
You know, in the simpler terms, like, hey, that's like a review, you know, regardless of the size of the business.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take on whatever you can to get going.
That's
you
right.
know, it could be the simplest job. It's like, oh, because in your head you think like, well, I'm worth more than that.
Yeah.
I should be doing bigger shit.
Yeah.
But like, man, sometimes you just got to swallow your pride, you know, and like, you got to start small. You got to take on whatever opportunity you can, because those are stepping stones to get you to where you're at now. Yeah. Yeah, man. So for what it's worth, dude, I'm proud of you for like making that shift and doing so.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
We got the first couple clients after that. We went through a lot of trouble with not bidding correctly, underestimating time, and it's we lost like $50,000 the next month.
So the early days were still like, it's funny because like you saying that, you'd think it's like, woo, you know?
No.
But like after that, you had this moment, but it's like, damn, you probably are some points where like, what the hell am I doing?
Oh, several moments, man. Several, more than I can count on my hands.
Yeah,
truly.
You got to have a lot of those tough learning curves.
You got to give up to go up.
Were there any moments you didn't feel like you were going to make it?
Oh yeah, more than I'd like to admit. I mean, when I first started the company, I met this guy, and he said, "Brandon, no matter what you do, you never miss payroll, never." I'm like, okay, and I can proudly say in 4 years we have never missed a payroll. Now we've been close, but we've never missed a payroll. So those moments get kind of. Those are challenging, you know, because I'm like you know, I want to pour myself out for the people that want to commit their time, effort, and talents to Beacon Turf. Yeah. I want them to be taken care of and seen and acknowledged. And so I'm willing to you know, take the hit.
That's a scary place to be. It's hard enough when you're trying to get by.
Yeah.
But then when you got people that need to put food on their tables because of you, it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, it is. You know, back in the day, I would have never bought these boots, and I'm not bragging at all. But these are very expensive Lucchese boots. First pair I've ever owned. I got them. I went to Gatlinburg with some friends about a month ago, and I would have never thought of I would have never invested in this.
Really?
And I was like, and he was like, dude, just get them. I was like, you know what?
This pair of boots.
I'm gonna get me some Lucchese's, man. Yeah. And you know, now they're just another pair of boots. But yeah. But it does remind me of like, okay, things are okay. Yeah. I'm okay, and not so busy. And so it kind of drowns me in a weird way, like buying expensive boots. Anyway. No,
I totally get that, man. And from talking to you though, like your value doesn't lie in those things. And I think there's a point where people will see you buy some nice stuff and they'll judge. Yeah. Although they may probably sit there and daydream about how they want that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like there's a difference between like enjoying it and then becoming consumed by it, right?
Oh, big difference. You're exactly right.
Something I always focus on, no matter how big everything I do gets, right? No matter what level that is, you know, the reality that we can all face is that it can all be stripped away tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And so that's why I put so much focus on character and the inner work, because like what happened did this all burn down, you know? And I talked about like looking at my wife and just like being like, you know, I'm grateful. Like, yeah, that's it. Like I'm good. Yeah. At the end of the day. And that's, you know, still something you don't want to happen. No. But it's just something to focus on because we never know what the next day holds.
Money's a moving target. And so I want to say this for any other businesses that are watching this, and I'm not saying this to brag, I'm saying this as to make a declaration. We gave away over $200,000 last year as a company. I gave away more money than I ended in my personal account. Whew. proud to do it. This year, I hope I'll give away $600,000. So the more money we make at our company, the more we give away.
Hell yeah.
That is a statement that Beacon Turf will live by for the remainder of our company's existence. Wow. I believe more service-based companies, more construction companies, if you've been radically blessed, help the underdogs, invest into your people, and give it away.
Pouring into others that need it, man, it's so much greater, man. So I really commend you for holding that at the forefront.
Yeah.
Like that's of high importance to you. And that's a standard that's always set. So I appreciate that.
Oh man, when I die, I want to die on E.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not looking to die with $50 million in the account. Yeah. Like, I want to die with $0, knowing that people benefited from the sacrifices and my relationship with God. People benefited and lives were impacted.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So thank you,
man. Of course. I want to dive in some more stuff about your business. There was probably a realization and an identity shift here. Oh, no. So, at one point you were the kid that dropped out of high school. Mm-hmm. I'm sure at that time you didn't see much ahead in your future.
Yeah, exactly right.
How did that identity shift come about? And when did you realize it? Did you ever reflect on that time?
I know the exact moment that things became really real. For time's sake, I'm going to cut this story kind of short, but I've always wanted to live in Colorado. And it was like a big argument in my marriage for quite a while that I wanted to move, but we had a lot of family here, so timing wasn't right. I believe one day we'll own property or we will move there. But so anyway, I for years wanted to move to Colorado, and then I'd argue with God. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm supposed to be there, and then it just never worked out. But so there was a day where I officially gave it up. I said, okay, God, this is not good. This is not good for my peace, my soul, my marriage. I'm done with Colorado. Yeah. And the next day I get a phone call from a friend that I haven't talked to in 7 months. He says, hey, I think you're supposed to come to Colorado with me. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know where we're going, but God told me to call you. And I'm like, dude, what?
God didn't call me.
Yeah, God didn't call me. I was kind of mad about it. I'm like, God, you're playing with me. I want to move there, and you're going to have some guy call me and say, I go to Colorado, meet several billionaires, several really high level leaders, and I'm a landscaper. And I'm like, what am I doing here? I was honestly kind of pissed off that I was in a room like that. I felt so I felt like I didn't belong. Mm. And then throughout that time while I was there, there was a lady, her name's Melody, and she locked in with me during one of our sessions. And she said, Brandon, you're enough. Quit second guessing. God made you to do some incredible things. Just simply believe them.
Yeah. And
so that was one of the moments that really shaped my identity.
Yeah.
And she literally said word for word, it's time to put on the robe of Joseph. And in the book of, Joseph, if you know his story, man, it's,
I read a lot of scripture.
Yeah. He always felt different. He always he was different. And then, man, he was sold into slavery. His brothers betrayed him. His life was whoa. I mean, it was here and then it was boom there. But during that moment of just, committing himself to God, man, he became second in charge.
That's so cool.
So, yeah, she spoke that over me and I took it really serious. And I left with a confidence of okay, I can actually lead this company and be a person that people want to work with.
Yeah. You went in with this hesitance and this negative self-belief, and you left thinking no, I did belong in those rooms.
Yes.
And that's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Why do the underdogs matter so much to you?
I think growing up in the environments that I lived most of my life in, you're overlooked. You're put into a category, and all right, that's those best boys.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's other folks in different states and cities that have a fill in the blank last name, or they have a company that they just can't seem to finance or to get it off the ground.
Yeah.
And because I was both, I had the last name, and then I also started with $500, and that's rough.
Yeah.
I would never encourage somebody to do that. If they have a real raw passion, then yeah, but It takes a very special, like, just sacrifice to do it. But
Yeah.
I think that's the underdogs, man. I will always maintain the underdog mentality, no matter if I'm worth 500 billion or $500.
Yeah.
It's a mindset. It's a lifestyle. There's more underdogs than there are successful guys girls that are walking the earth. And so I think there's a great need for men and women in the marketplace that just need help.
It speaks to you because that mindset is so personal to you because of your lived experience, right?
Yeah.
So you see it, man.
Yeah.
At one point you were that guy again, but you completely changed your life, and you're employing other people and giving them opportunity. I mean, it's a really cool thing to see. And so it makes sense that is always going to be a point for you.
Yeah.
And you're very passionate about it, And I did want to say too, starting with $500, it's like there's a certain point, you probably realize this too, the further you go along, you realize, man, you're almost like there's almost nobody around you that started with you, or like we're starting their own thing.
It's true.
A lot of people pivot into like directions that they're like, I'm done with this. I'm going to go just get a job or whatever. And you realize like smarts and a lot of traits that you think would be what got people ahead. Man, I realized the only thing that gets people to the next level, because it's the most rare thing, is drive.
It's drive.
Yeah. Because I, be surrounded by people and I'm like, man, I'm not where they're at, in this area, that area. But I do have drive.
Yeah.
That willingness just to go all in at all costs and make it happen. Like that belief in yourself and what you're doing, it's so much bigger.
It's hard to beat someone that is willing to die for it.
Yeah.
Like literally, not even figuratively.
Yeah.
And so I think that's been one of the, what's kept me in this market. Because in my industry, we have every national company that operates as a turf company in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
So they provide a great competition to either make it or break it in this market. And so it's, I'm competing against every national turf company that exists. They're here. And so it is a matter of, I'm willing to die for this.
What makes that so competitive? And
national players have national dollars, national support, national reach. And so they're able to skip a lot of steps. They're able to pay for the best marketing, the best C-suite executives. They're able to advance further and faster because they built a national brand, which is admirable. But for the underdogs, that's what they're up against. And so for us in the turf space, we want to help those guys and girls that own these companies, because every national turf company that's here, they're coming to your state.
Yeah.
They're coming quick.
Would you say, you get to that point that they're at, right? I'd imagine for you, it's still emphasizing the underdog aspect, right? Because a lot of them could have been, they had to be at one point.
Yeah.
In some way. But they lost sight of their beginnings.
Yeah.
Which happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, I see it every day.
Yeah. So is that something you constantly remind yourself of?
Yeah. I think money makes you more of what you already are. And so if you have a tendency to lead with ego, which for me, ego stands for easing God out. And so the bigger someone's ego is, the less likely they're going to commit their life to something they can't see, feel, and touch.
Yeah.
And so I've always just remembered that money makes you more of what you already are. So if you're already a giving person, the more money you make, the more you're going to give.
Yeah.
If you're a person that's me, you'll do whatever you can
to hold it.
That and to hold it.
Yeah.
And so I think that not every national company, not even just in my space, there's some really great national companies that add a lot of value to the cities that they're in, to market leaders. But yeah, I think for us, no matter how big we get, that has to be the core value.
Yeah. With some of the, and I really appreciate that, with some of those companies that aren't supportive in the way that others are, what are some of the hurdles with that? What are some of the things that are done that, essentially make it so difficult?
Yeah. Well, in most service-based companies, like most trade companies, there's a lot of collaboration. Like a lot of home builders, they collaborate, they buy land together, they flip land together, they build houses together. You have trade shows where primarily landscaping companies all come together to learn new technology, new techniques. But in my space, it is a free-for-all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a free-for-all.
Really?
There's no collaboration. There's no, hey, let me help you not go this way. This is going to cost you money and time, and it might kill you.
Really?
And so that's our goal this year, and for the remainder of our company, is to help other landscape companies that maybe want to convert to doing just turf like we did. Or there's companies in Colorado, or like Colorado just passed a law where developers are required to put artificial turf in their plans as they're building to help save on water. Yeah. So there's a lot of landscaping companies there that have a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
But also every national turf company is going to make it into your market. So we want to help them get rooted and established before the national players come, because they come with big budgets.
Damn. It makes me think of, like, you ever seen the Dr. Seuss movie where the kid's trying to find a plant?
Yeah.
And they got like plastic trees and stuff. And
Oh,
you got
I love that
O'Hare
movie.
air, he's like selling air.
Selling
It's like,
air.
there's going to be somebody selling air. And one of these guys are like, y'all want to breathe? Come to me.
I love that movie.
Dude, it is actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
That one and the Lorax, they're both great.
Yeah.
Actually, is that the same movie? I don't.
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
same movie.
It is the Lorax. I
Yeah.
love the Lorax, dude. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch it tonight.
Love Moana, all of that.
Oh, here we are getting off. But I agree. I want to go on a tangent about this, dude. I don't watch serious movies.
I don't either.
I love John Wick.
John Wick is, it's a staple.
Lord of the Rings, I can watch like every day
Yeah.
for the rest of my life. Huge Tolkien fan.
Yeah.
It's so applicable to life.
It is.
But outside of that, I love Disney movies and shit.
Oh, man.
They're wholesome. People are like, oh, the little messages in them. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm watching these things a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And like, they're good movies.
My favorite movie is Ratatouille.
Ratatouille's good. We watched that last week.
I watched it last night.
Oh my gosh.
Hands down, favorite movie.
Yeah. Tangled's good.
Love Tangled.
Raya.
Love it.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm trying to think. There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I pretty much just like all the stuff my daughter wants to watch.
Yeah. My daughter's favorite movie is Ratatouille because it's my favorite. He's like, I want to watch the Little Chef movie. He's like, I'm your little chef, Daddy. I'm your little helper. And I'm like, doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. My daughter's favorite right now is Brave.
Brave. Oh, that's the orange-headed girl, right?
Yeah. She
brothers.
Her mom turns into a bear.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's really good. It's super wholesome.
Yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah, I love like the whole premise behind it, the setting, everything. It's like, damn, that's solid.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I love that men can talk about this because, like, I feel like most guys are like, yeah, I'll watch a Disney movie, but they'll never admit it.
No, they never admit it, dude.
Yeah.
But like, they're some of the best movies. Life is serious enough.
Yeah, that's true.
And the world is serious, right? There's all this stuff going on. So, and I take life serious. I just do. I mean, it's important to me. I want to maximize the experience. So I do take it serious. But so when I get home, the last thing I want to do is watch something that's going to have me on my toes and I'm an emotional person, dude. I cry at every movie. I will cry in probably Ratatouille and Moana. There's always something that I would click with. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, And, so when I get home, I don't want to watch like just some like deep, just like dark, something that makes me feel a certain way. Because then it's just like, damn, that wasn't relaxing.
I love it.
We're just simple men.
Simple men. Honest.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
How do we get on that?
I do not know.
Well, guys, thank you for tuning into that part. Going back to, fighting for the underdog and the importance of that. There's certain things that like you could probably expose that you're trying to combat against.
Oh, yeah.
And, you don't have to say it all. But I just guess what's some points, if you do want to, that you're really butting heads against that you want to correct?
Yeah. I think that, in my opinion, and with my research that I've done and my experiences, the artificial turf industry was never set up for the underdogs.
Yeah.
It's the most gatekept, most secretive thing that I believe exists in the surface-based companies. There's a lot of money in the turf industry, and I think that's the prime motivator that people aren't talking about it.
Yeah.
Because if you learn how to get it, then you'll hurt my market. You'll take money from me. But I believe that's a poverty mindset. That's a scarcity.
Yeah.
I think that the more we can lock arms together, the stronger we are. One of my favorite movies is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, where he goes, he grabs one of the twigs and he breaks it with one. And he says, ape alone weak. And he grabs like 5 of them and tries to break it. Ape together strong. And so that's kind of a philosophy that I live by. Is like, I've always been a lone wolf.
Yeah.
I don't prefer to be a lone wolf, but there's seasons where I think you have to be.
Yes.
And now I'm stepping out of the lone wolf, and I'm like, hey, I want to gather the lone wolves up. And I'm like, guys, it's time to go to war.
Yeah.
Let's help, I want to be what I needed when I started the company.
And that's powerful.
Yeah.
Dude, you got my support. If we ever get turf anything, I'm coming to you.
Let's go.
You've already got me sold.
Friends and family discount for anybody watching.
Hell yeah.
Turf.
And you see that, well, I've heard it in other business too, and I think you see it. There's a lot of roofing companies.
Lots.
Tons. I know some great dudes. The guys I know, they're all solid as shit.
They are.
You've seen, who I've recorded with. They're good men that, there's good money in it, of course. But it's not the only reason they're in it. They are good people that want to help people. But there's guys that see the money in it, and then you see a lot of roofing companies out there. You go down the interstate, you probably can count like at least 10 trucks.
At least.
On the way to Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
There's so many. And you hear about people just overstepping and coming in from other states and trying to take their business. And it's like, what's the point in all that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of roofs.
There's a lot of roofs.
Yeah. But then they want to go and encroach. I don't know. I don't know how that all works compared to the turf industry, but I just, from my observation and understanding, I just never knew turf was so cutthroat and intense.
Yeah.
You've enlightened me on this.
Neither did I. I mean, because we were a Beacon Landscape and we converted to Beacon Turf.
Yeah.
So we did primarily landscape construction, full backyard renovations, and we crushed it.
Yeah.
But we saw the market. So in every market, you have a red ocean and a blue ocean.
Yeah.
Red ocean, there's 1,000 landscapers within a 30-mile radius. There's blood in the water. It's competitive. Hard to win and scale a massive company. People are doing it, and I'm proud of them. But in the turf space, it was a blue ocean market. There's several whales just swimming around, just kind of doing their thing. And we wanted to be one of those, and we became one of them. And now we want to help other landscapers, pool companies make that switch to either doing it full-time or offering it more than what they currently are. Because they're missing out on millions.
Yeah.
Literally.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have dude, I wish you all the success. And I know you're going to crush it, man.
Yeah.
I'm just here, bro. And I want to say I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm proud of what drives you to succeed in that space and what you're doing, man. And I see so much ahead for you that I don't know. I can feel there's so much more that you don't even see.
Yeah,
no, it'll unravel in time, man.
I think that when your heart is in a good place, and you know it is, it's been tested over and over and over again. I truly believe it's impossible to fail. Not that you're gonna not fall on your face and make some mistakes, but every time I've ever wanted to bring something into the company, whether it's small, medium, or large, the things that I didn't spend time on and like really praying about and just not, I heard a quote, if you chase it, it runs. And so there's a lot of things in my business that we try to add. And Bailey's like, yep, she's looking at me. She's like, oh, she talks to me about a lot of things, a lot of stupid ideas that I'm like, yeah, we can do that. But this one has been one that just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Underdogs. The further I try to run away from it, the more it keeps coming back to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Head in this direction.
Yeah.
Man, I love that.
Yeah.
You had said something that stuck with me along the lines of like, you can't save everybody. What led to that mindset?
Some people just lose the oxygen, right? If you and I are hiking a mountain, if I want to go all the way to the top, I may or not make it, but I'm going to try, and I'm going to die trying. And so if someone else you're trying to help along that process, you're not responsible for how much oxygen they have to carry them. You can help them. And so I think that that's what I'm learning is I'm willing to invest time, effort, resources, and money into the right people who have the right heart, the right vision, and the folks that don't, they just simply lose oxygen.
When did you learn to accept that?
It's always been a reality in my head, but I never acted it out.
Yeah.
I think when you grow up in a place like I grew up, you want to help and save everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of that. I used to not be so proud of it. And I think this shift here recently allows me to put real focus and real intentionality into helping the underdogs. Because I've helped a lot of people. And yeah, I mean, the givers typically always get hurt the most. The people that pour themselves out are the ones that typically always get hurt and taken advantage of.
Goes back to the Lighthouse and Tugboat. You know, it's like switching your mindset, dude. Like a tugboat, the engine's eventually going to give.
Yeah.
Right? You're just pulling people along. Yeah. But the Lighthouse, man, it stands firm. It does its job.
That's good.
Your people are going to be guided to you, or, you know, other ships or whatever. Like they're going to be guided in the direction they need to go. And you just stand firm and you eliminate that. But the tugboat, man, you're going to you may get to the destination, but it's going to take you a lot longer time. And it's going to be a lot more painful. And, you know, but at the Lighthouse, man, you're still going to take some hits.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just part of it.
It's part of it.
But yeah, it just changes the game so much more.
Yeah.
And you're able to make so much progress, and you're actually able to help and invest in the people that want to help and invest in themselves.
Yes.
Right?
Oof. There's something that I live by is two things. You can't give something you don't have. Like if you ask me for $5 million, I don't have it.
Yeah.
I can't give it to you. And there's another one that I like to live by is it's important to know where you stand with people.
Yeah.
Because if I'm always giving you 100% and you give me 30, that's not a good relationship.
Yeah.
Every relationship I get into, whether it's business, friendships, vendors, my number one default position is to honor you. And I always want you to feel like you're getting the better end of the deal.
Yeah.
Always. That is my number one goal in any relationship. But with that comes an expense.
Yeah.
You know, losing part of your soul along the process. You know, you take a lot of hits. And it's like last year, no one's known this. This is a really kind of off the record kind of thing. But, you know, I was in the hospital quite a bit last year. Sometimes I couldn't get out of bed to go to meetings just due to pouring myself out over and over and over. And then literally losing the ability just to do like normal things. And I started to hate all the things that made me come alive. And it was really a reset is what it was. Yeah. I hated every second of it. It was brutal. It was the most brutal process I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
I was bound to home. And I barely did a lot of extra work, everybody did at the company while I was gone. I'd come in for an hour, leave, come for 3 hours and leave. But now I'm like, let's go, baby.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go.
I know that season, man, and it is tough.
Yeah.
Like being at that, I put myself in the hospital because my nose gushing blood and stuff because of that stuff. And, you talked about the 30%. When you're constantly giving 100%, you don't really see the return. But then it gets to where like that cup, man, you're holding it up and you're like, people are like, dude, put some more. And you're just like, man, whatever drop I have, you're still just doing this. And then that reality check comes when you're like, well, shit, man, none of these people pouring back in my cup.
Yeah.
Like they won't give me nothing. They just want
nothing.
And even when you ask like, hey, I need a little bit of water, they're like, no, dude, I need this right now, and it's a tough thing to face. Because you're like, you feel almost foolish, right? But then once you get past that breakthrough, and I'm sure you've seen it because I have in my own life, is like, man, all these relationships I'm getting in my life, like I'm just starting to see like, oh, this cup's pouring some in. I'm like, wait, my cup's getting filled up a little bit. Okay,
get chills hearing you say that.
Yeah, so you know how that feels, man, and that's like it's a really cool thing. Yeah. And I think that lesson's necessary for you to be able to see that for what it is.
Something that kind of ties into this, I listened to hate to admit this, but I listened to like a 35-hour documentary on Elon Musk. And I was really stunned to hear something that he said that made him kind of tick. He said that as a part of it, Elon said that one of the number one reasons why he wanted to become so wealthy is so that he could create a distance from people who used to bully him, who used to challenge him, who used to take from him. And so he thought that if he created this distance between here's Elon and here's the world, if I can put so much money and success in front of me, you can't get to me. I don't think that's 100% accurate. I think that, like Biggie said, more money, more problems. Yeah. That's true.
He's like, these robots ain't gonna screw me over, He's like, I surround myself with like robots and shit.
Yeah, I control them.
Yeah. They ain't gonna screw me.
He can screw me.
So you think.
Until it happens.
I know I really appreciate that. That's an interesting thing to think about because that can disconnect you too from humanity. So
literally,
I think this is a good time to come kind of circle things back in, kind of full circle with it all. Is there anything else you feel inclined? I have a final question for you. But is there anything else you feel inclined to speak before we get to that?
I just want to say I admire you and your bravery and your dedication to having people come sit in this chair. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to start podcasts that never do it. There's a lot of people that want to invest into other people that never do it. And so really and truly, like, you are a beacon, you are a difference maker. And I love to be around difference makers. Like, this was an incredible ROE, or return on investment, and return on energy. Like, this was, my cup just got filled tremendously. Man, I hope that yours did too, man. So keep going, man. I think that's, I think one day you will be competing with the Joe Rogans. So.
Yes, dude.
I believe that.
I don't even know what to say. I always kind of freeze up when people say such kind things, but thank you.
Yeah.
That means the world. It really does.
I mean it.
I'm really excited for what's ahead for you and your future and your business and everybody around you. And it's just, whatever I can do to support you moving forward, I will, man.
Thank you.
Final question. Are you ready for it?
I think so.
What is your relentless pursuit?
I think it goes back to the Spencers at Ashley Furniture. They've led their life really well. They have helped a lot of people along the way. They built an empire that most people don't even know about. But I think that's my pursuit, is when I grow up, I want to be like the Spencers.
Right on, man.
In my own way, but they've kind of set the path that aligns with the missions that we serve. We fight against human trafficking. We're the only turf company in the United States that does that.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. So, they do very similar things in their organization. So, yeah, I think that's my pursuit, is to build something sustainable, that's profitable, that's fun, that serves others.
Dude, that's so cool. And great answer. Because there's an example out there that that inspires you.
Yeah.
And it forces you to take really positive action, man. I didn't even know you fought human trafficking, so that's freaking amazing.
Yeah, man.
That you do that. It sucks that you have to.
It does.
But we need to. And so I think it's amazing you do that. This just opens up the door to so much more conversation we can dive into. I'm like, man, there's still so much to dig up here. But I think that comes to a good close, man. It's been an honor having you. Where can people find you and support you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Beacon Turf is the company that I'm a part of. You can just type it in, BEACON Turf, and then I'm on Instagram. I'll be posting a lot more in the next couple of weeks. And honestly, posting on social media is very vulnerable. Quite frankly, I hate it, but it's necessary to reach the underdogs and to tell the story. And so that's what I meant earlier, man, with your bravery. I mean, putting yourself out there, you're asking for, a lot of ridicule, a lot of pain. And so it takes a special group of people to sign up for that and continue to do it.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
And again, thank you for that. Hey, just cut it up and let it bleed out, dude.
That's right.
That's how I look at it. But man, it's been an honor. I'm going to shake your hand real quick.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
Means
man.
a lot.
All right, guys. Till next time.
Thanks, guys.
One of the biggest lessons that I've learned in this show, and honestly in life, is that healing doesn't live in just one lane. Some people find it through addiction recovery, some through therapy, some through faith, some through hard conversations that they've avoided for years, and some for finally being honest about what they're carrying. I started this show to give people a voice, to share real journeys, real struggles, and real growth. And what it's shown me is how many people are walking through similar battles, even if it looks different on the surface. Through this platform, I've been connected with people across so many lanes: addiction recovery, mental health, veterans and first responders, faith, marriage and relationships, trauma, and everything in between. I want to say this clearly. If you're listening right now and you're struggling, please reach out. You don't need to know exactly what you need. You don't need the right words. You don't have to even know exactly where to start. But through my network, I'll do everything I can to get you connected with the right person in the right lane for where you are. That's what this show is about. Real stories, real connection, and reminding people that there is a way forward.